Hello. Today we're coming at you with Nate Palmer. He's going to join me in a moment. And Nate and I met when we were both working at a fitness club. I was in the physical therapy clinic, and he's a trainer. And then, hey, there he is. Let me add you in. So yeah, he'll be here any moment, and he'll tell us what he's been doing lately. Hey!
Hi.
Big virtual hug.
Can you see me and hear me?
I can't.
And both?
I can't see you and hear you.
Excellent.
Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here.
I like to pretend like it's a real thing.
Welcome to the Erin Keys show.
Yep. So where are you right now?
I'm at home. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona currently.
Oh, your lighting is not good. Turn towards the window.
What's that?
There we
Better
go.
this way?
Now I can see it.
My selfie camera has two big scratches in it, so if I flip it back around so I can actually see what's happening, you'll have a bad picture. So
okay. Good to know. So I was just telling the studio audience that where we met, and then right around the time that I left PT there, you went on a big South American journey.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. I loved watching your adventures.
So that was super fun. It started off as being like me and my wife Lindsay were going to go down to Panama and like do a little bit of traveling, a little bit of work there. We'd only really accounted for 4 months. So first thing we did is we went down and lived on an island in like off the coast of Bocas del Toro, which is like an archipelago, a bunch of little islands on the Caribbean side of Panama. And so we worked like on a jungle farm for a couple weeks until Lindsay got a really bad staph infection in her leg, and then I got second-degree burns all over my body.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what a way to start.
Yeah, so we got all that out the way at first, though, and then we had a really cool intensive Spanish immersion course where we had to learn medical Spanish, otherwise we'd risk losing, appendages. So
oh gosh,
we went to 9 different hospitals in 7 different cities.
Oh my God.
Knocked that out early. And then it was great from then on.
Oh my gosh.
Can you still hear me?
So
it was.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
So that was. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
All right. So then we actually went to our next. We found these places through a website called workaway.info. So we got stuff ahead of time where it's basically like they pay your room and your board basically for you work for 4 or 5 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week, depending on what situation you're looking at. So you can find like hospitals or hotels, farm work or tour stuff, or just got like any variety of stuff. And it's not just South America or Panama. You can also find like sheep herding jobs in the Netherlands or like living in a castle in England and stuff. So
that's really good to know. I was wondering how you found all these things as you went from adventure to adventure.
Primarily on this site. So we were traveled for about 12 months, and we worked for 6 of those, and then we were like touring for 6. But the coolest place that we were at was this place in Panama, right? So it's about 40 minutes from any sort of city or town, located like in the middle of the jungle, about 15 minutes boat ride from the Panama Canal. There's a floating lodge that we worked on as tour guides.
Oh, that's right. Is that where you're holding the alligator thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's a spectacle Cayman. But we just had such a great time. We got meet like nice tourists, and we'd take them like bird watching, go see some monkeys, take them out on a night safari, which if you've never done a night safari in the middle of the jungle, I would highly recommend that.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so what was your big take-home message or messages or things that you felt like you learned about life or yourself or whatever?
Dang, that's a good question. Start off something light. I don't know if I would say like there was like one overarching theme. I think I think there was a couple things there. Number one, that I really feel like adventuring and seeing totally different parts of the world, seeing like, all the way from, when we came back, we were in Miami for a little bit, and we went with my cousin who worked at this one club to this just insane club where she got us in for free, but it would only cost a couple $100 to get in.
Oh my gosh.
Like that with juxtaposed with like this place we worked in Peru where we were working with like a kids after school program, and just like this debilitating poverty there. But the people who are living there in these places that are just like, bare bones, tin roofs and stuff, just totally happy. They didn't feel like they were deprived at all, So I think that was super interesting, just seeing different parts of the world and seeing how people live and what people's attitudes are towards life in a bunch of different places.
So if you had to guess, why do you think that is? So my first guess is like, well, they don't have TV telling them, and that their life isn't good enough all the time.
You're totally right. And what's crazy is that one thing I noticed about the U.S., like right as we got back, was how good we are at advertising. The U.S. hands down best ads in the entire world, and not best as like most entertaining, but best as in like targeted at hitting your pain points and making you want and desire things. And that just doesn't exist in a lot of other countries. The ads are like, they're not so poignant, and
they don't have people with like PhDs in psychology and advertising finding exactly what we need.
Yeah, and so some people don't even have TVs, right? So when you're not seeing ads, you're not seeing like what your life should look like because Kylie Jenner has this brand of lip gloss or she's doing this X, Y, or Z thing. You just don't have anything to compare it to. You compare yourself to your neighbor who's living exactly the same as you, and you both have a nice time.
That's nice. I like that.
It's just different. It's crazy. So I don't know. One thing that I try to do as kind of a reaction to that is just spend a little bit of time every day or every night being grateful for what we have. Because I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, I want a new car, I want a new house, I want to live here, I want to do this thing, my job's not good enough. And we just live in a society full of complainers. But I think that when you just take a step back and look at what we do have, it's unbelievable. Like we get to live in the U.S., which is like arguably one of the like most free countries in the entire world in terms of what we're allowed to do and say and be and kind of like create.
Mm-hmm.
And most of us have families. We generally live in houses. Most of us have cars that we drive around. So
clean running water.
Even if it's not. Yeah, we're drinking clean water. You can drink out of the tap if you want to. It's not a big deal. You could probably go get someone to give you food right now if you wanted to. In fact, you probably have the cupboard stocked with it. So we just have so much, and we're not grateful for it at all.
Yeah.
So when you take a minute to kind of reflect back and be like, yo, this stuff is like what we're dealing with right now is so awesome. And regardless of how you feel about the NFL and protests and the political climate, your life is awesome. And don't forget that.
Yeah, it's a good reminder. Whew. Well, moving from the deep thoughts, I want to talk about entrepreneurship since, so I know that before you were working at the gym where we met, you had a gym before that, which you must have owned when you were pretty young.
Yeah, I started it kind of when I was like, I think probably 22, 23.
Yeah, so that's pretty young to be an entrepreneur. And then now you're an entrepreneur again, right?
Yeah, I have a terrible boss.
Is he mean? Is he hard driving, or is he like lazy and doesn't get things done?
Both. Yeah, it is interesting. I do like it though. I like having that flexibility and stuff. But at the same time, I like someone telling me what to do, showing up when I have to show up, and getting done what I have to get done, rather than me being like, all right, what do I need to do today to advance this business I'm creating? So that's another learning process for me.
Okay, and tell us what your endeavor is. Bod in a Box.
What's that? Oh yeah. So Bod in a Box is the minimal solution to home exercise. And the reason I came up with it, Erin, is a lot based on what I learned at the Pro Club. Because I feel like got to work with a variety of clients, right? And you like through the 2020 program?
Yes. So for
You know,
our
so
people who aren't familiar, the gym we worked at had a metabolic disorder program that was very like it kind of approached things from lots of different angles, and it got people exercising who maybe had never exercised before, right? And they had psychological support and nutrition support and trainers, and it was very expensive, but but it was also very supportive.
Incredibly. I had the financial buy-in, and then you go to, like you said, you go to a counselor once a week to deal with any sort of like eating disordered, like mental stuff. You go to a support group once a week. You go see a doctor once a month.
Community is so important.
You see a nutritionist once a week, and then you see a trainer 3 times a week. So it was like every angle, right? But what I found, Erin, is that like working with the clients that I've worked with, everyone went to the same doctor's office, everyone went to the same counselor, everyone went to the same nutritionist, and everyone went to the same trainers, essentially, who were doing similar things.
Yeah.
So what separated the people who got results from the people who didn't get results? And it came down to one thing for me. The people who got results were diligent about exercise on a daily basis, you know, and maybe not 7 days a week, but at least 5 and sometimes 6. The people who were getting the best results were coming in being like, I did my cardio yesterday. I did a strength workout yesterday. I did this or I did that outside of the gym, outside of my personal training.
Okay.
So what I found was that program required a pretty big lifestyle commitment in terms of getting to the gym, you know, probably 15, 16 hours a month for your scheduled stuff, as well as another 12 hours a month of like cardio on the side. So what I wanted to do was make a product that was allowed you to do some similar stuff without having to hit the gym 30 times a month.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most of us are busy. We've got jobs, we've got families, we've got lives outside of training and working out. So we need an option that you can get a workout in, get some good training, but without spending 50 minutes in the car driving to the gym, warming up, cooling down, showering, and driving home. 90 minutes total, you know. So I put together what I think is arguably the best fat loss workouts, packaged into 25 to 30 minute sessions, depending on kind of where you're at and how much time you have available. And I just wanted to give you a way to train more often with less headache. And
then you have the like the home equipment. I know you have some stretchy bands and the TRX suspension.
Technically, we call them stretchy bands.
Technically?
No, so I have the suspension trainer, which looks a lot like
but it's not that brand. Okay.
It's not a TRX brand.
My bad, TRX.
F3. Same thing. Works exactly the same.
Right. I just get in trouble, because they're on me. I'm so popular, and so many people are watching my show that I didn't want to get into legal trouble with TRX.
The show is blowing up. So I have one suspension trainer, which generally you're going to find for like between like 189 and 220, depending on where you go and which version you get from TRX. Then I've got 2 40-inch resistance bands. Those are the ones that are like the ones used for pull-ups, like assist with. So I have a 1/2 inch one that's like a 1/2 inch wide.
I've never done a pull-up in my life.
Oh, really? Well, we can talk about that, but I think everyone should do pull-ups. And then I have a full inch one. So you've got 2 different resistances. You can add them together and get like 180 pounds of resistance if you so desired. So you basically, with these 2 bands, replace an entire like cable machine that's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars if you went and
bought it. And take up space. You know? What I like about your thing is like you can put it in your backpack or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing we have is 2 of the core power sliders. So they're kind of triangular sliders you can use for like core and leg exercises, which I prefer.
Okay.
And then don't tell anyone this. I know the show's popular, but I'm starting to include mini bands. So like the little ones you put around your knees or ankles for like side band walks, squat adjustments, things like that. I'm starting to include those as well, but don't tell anyone because it's a secret.
My lips are sealed.
And then what I did,
my lips are sealed.
Thank you so much. Then what I did was I wrote up programs, and I filmed all the videos for the programs just to make sure that it was I literally wanted to take all the difficulty out of working out, aside from the actual working out part, which I can't do for you. Sorry.
No. Well, too bad.
I wanted to bring the equipment to you, put it in your house. I wanted to give you the program. I wanted to film the videos. So that when you're like, what's a suspension trainer high row? You can just click the link and it pulls up a video real quick on your phone, just on YouTube. It's 30 seconds on how to do a high row. Now you go and do it. And then the goal is not necessarily, I don't want to say that, oh my gosh, with this type of training, you're going to lose 21 pounds in 21 days. Because I think that's a little bit like deceitful marketing, and I don't think that leads to sustainable results. And my goal is not even like that you use suspension training for the rest of your life. My goal for you, or for whoever is getting this product is that you learn like not just like every month you learn 6 new programs, but you pick like, okay, you liked day 2 from month 1, and then you liked day 3 and day 4 from month 2, and now these kind of become a part of your repertoire, part of your something. You're like, I've got 20 minutes. What can I do? I'll go hit that day 1 up. I still remember it. It's not that hard. And then you just go. You have those in the back of your mind. It's part of your continuing education in getting your PhD in Nate Palmer or in Erin Keys.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to give you that, like, the sort of education you need to stay successful long term besides yourself.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I liked what you said. You sent me the emails from that you gave us the link for, and maybe you can share that again later under this video. But in there, you also were talking about that your trip to South America also influenced kind of this choice, because you realized you were missing being able to work out in your travels.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not very many gyms like located in the middle of a jungle in Panama.
I'm guessing when you were doing farm work, you probably got enough physical activity. And I know when you were doing farm work, you probably got a lot of physical activity. And I know you were doing a lot of hiking and other physical things, but apparently you were still missing out in something.
I would still even train after doing
farm
work. I just like it. I just couldn't. I've got a little bit of an addictive personality, and so I like training. And even if it wasn't like a hard training session, I'd still go do some core stuff. I noticed that my body feels better when I do specific core work for keep my low back strong, keep my shoulders strong, and then like you said, I was doing a lot of hiking. We did some surfing, we did rock climbing, we did scuba diving, we did like all like mountain biking. We did so much. We had the opportunity to do so many awesome things, and I wanted to be strong enough and fit enough and physically able to do everything without any issue at all. So, so I added that in. I'll try to get 4 to 5 days per week, every day. Even just 15, 20 minutes here and there. And I worked out in some of the weirdest places.
Yeah, you showed some pictures. It's true. And but I love what you're saying right now, like that the exercise enabled you to do some of these awesome things, right? Like that like highlight that in your notes, people that are taking notes. And I did this the three first things that I noticed about my friend Heather Heather Wildland that I interviewed about a week and a half ago. And I'm going to do that for you too, because the first thing that you notice with Nate is that he's really tall, right? You probably get that a lot, right? Just, you can't notice it on the screen because all I see is your face. But how tall are you, Nate?
But it's a tall face.
Tall face. You're 6 foot something or other. And then the second thing that you notice about Nate is his sense of humor. So that was 3rd on Heather's list, but that's 2 for you, because you have an excellent sense of humor. You're very jokey, potentially offensive to some. I don't know if you get people offended, but
yeah,
you definitely walk the line.
I've learned to forgive myself.
And you got to find the right people, right? Like I kind of learned that as being a PT. It's like my personality is going to work for some people, and it's not going to work for other people, and it's not worth changing it. Like I might as well just keep doing what I'm good at and not worry about the thing, And
they'll let the people who like you come to you, and don't worry about pleasing everybody. One thing I've learned a little bit recently was that, like, in my writing style, I heard someone say that once, that like for every person you have kind of lurking in the back of your brain, like in terms of like you write and you think about what they're going to say, you can decrease how good your writing is by 10%. I don't know if that's or not, but I believe it for sure.
I definitely did that, back when I was in school sometimes, and I was just really procrastinating on an assignment that I didn't want to do. to finally like just get some words on paper, I would just take a snarky tone, you know, and just be like, you know, and just get it out. And then you can go back and edit it and clean it up for your professor, right? And that honestly retains a little bit of its like fresh lightness even after you get out the snarkiness. And the third thing that you notice about Nate is that you are very, very genuine. And when you're being genuine, I don't know how to put that exactly, but like, because you're so funny, it's sort of unexpected. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, wait, is he joking? Or no, I think he actually meant that you genuinely feel that way. You know, like you have, when you're being genuine and honest, it comes from the heart, and it's, and it almost takes me by surprise. So
when you can wade through the bull crap, yeah.
Right. The first layer is the bull crap and the sense of humor and the sarcasm, and but we love all of it. The tallness, the humor, and the sincerity. It makes a great package. And Nate, and good luck to you. I hope people sign up for this. I think it sounds like a great program. I'm not doing it, but I do think that it sounds like a great way to go. And you're also doing a lot of writing, right? Like posted your article from HuffPost.
I've been on HuffPost a couple times recently, which has been a huge blessing. So that's been fun. I also have my site that I write on. Your blog.
Okay, and then you've been also in some fitness magazines as well, correct?
Yeah, I've been published in Ask Men, Testosterone Nation, Muscle and Strength, Bodybuilding.
And then just in brief, can you just summarize really quickly kind of your philosophy about nutrition and exercise and boosting the metabolism and all that?
Yeah, so the thing I posted in the group a while back was like a 10-part email course on here's how to boost your metabolism. And basically what it comes down to, and if you wanna check that out, I'll put the link in it so you can get like more detail, but here's what it comes down to. In order to boost your metabolism, you got to stop yo-yo dieting. You got to stop these 1,000 to 1,200 calorie diets, because all they're doing is you're going to shed some weight. Yeah, but once you start going back to eating quote unquote normally and having like eating to where you're actually getting full and not just like holding yourself and depriving yourself to 1,200 calories, you're going to start gaining more weight back because you've shut down important metabolic functions. Like, so even something as like simple as like tapping your toe or moving your foot around like that, if you're like a nervous, like a toe tapper, your body stops doing that because it's just simply extra caloric expenditure. So the first thing is to start eating the correct amount of calories for your body weight. And then not just eating just calories, but nutritious food, nutritiously dense food, things that grow in the ground or at some point we're alive. And then you got to get active. You can't have a good metabolism without being active. And some people will say, well, like gaining muscle, it only burns an extra couple calories per day. But what the cool thing about having a little extra muscle on your frame is, A, you look better, you feel better, you burn more calories, and then when you are active, that muscle is burning even more calories. So I termed this metabolic snowballing, which is basically a less pretentious way or a less anatomically correct way of saying the excess post-exercise oxygen consumption principle, or EPOC. So what that basically means is that you do a workout right now today for 45 minutes, you're going to burn calories for the next 2 days, 48 hours essentially. And the amount of calories that you burn varies based on how intense your workout is, how many calories you burn at rest, how much muscle mass you have, and a couple other factors. So the key is to eat healthy food that in a caloric range that fits your body, build a little bit of muscle, and then just stay active. Gray Cook, who's kind of like the movement granddad. You know that name, right, Erin?
Gray Cook. That sounds familiar. But maybe I heard that from you.
But he says, move well, then move often. So I really like that, because once you get into the zone, that's another reason why I like Bod in the Box so much, because once you you build a little muscle, you drop a little bit of fat, you start feeling good, then you can keep going doing other things. So you're doing the Bod in the Box workouts. Maybe you're going out and running with your friends. It's getting nice out. Maybe you go for a hike. It's getting worse out in Seattle, but it's nice in Phoenix.
Oh, it's nice right now at the moment.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. It's 97 here today, but with the hopes of just a quick 94 tomorrow.
Well, I can't deal with the heat. Although I have to say the dry heat definitely is better than the humid heat.
Better than like the South.
Yeah, I was in Austin last weekend, and we were at our celebratory party after, and I did a little dancing, and then you're just like standing there in your sweat, and it's not evaporating because it's so humid. I'm just yeah. And then my friend from Maryland's there going like, oh, humidity in Maryland's like 90 some. This is only 70. It's dry.
Oh. Pass, hard pass.
But like I'm not made for it. I'm sorry. I'm too white, I'm afraid.
No, I get that. I burned my shoulders pretty good the other day, just walking outside.
Well, I can send you some lavish. That's good for that.
Want that? I gotta have it.
Well, it'll be your compensation for this very difficult interview I'm forcing you into.
Yeah, I wish you would have asked such hard questions.
Is there anything that you want to share before we go?
This is difficult for me, but I do have herpes. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Not really what I was talking about.
I don't know.
How's Lindsay? I want to know how Lindsay's doing. Is she teaching?
Lindsay's doing good. She's working for a nonprofit here in the Valley, working with kids, at-risk kids in school. So she took kind of a year off from teaching. I think she'll probably go back some point in the future, just because she likes difficult kids, which to each their own, I guess. But that's why you know she's a better person.
Well, yeah.
Also, Bought in a Box right now, I am giving that equipment away.
Oh, that was such a good deal. I'm like, I want to do that, except for I don't think I will, honestly. I need to go to a class and have somebody tell me what to do, because
I get that. And it's for sure, it's not for everybody, the Bought in a Box. You got to be a little self-motivated. You got to be able to get kind of like turn off your phone and then spend 25 minutes doing it. And some people have a hard time doing that with the way their house is set up, or some people just prefer a class. But if that is you, the equipment is.
No, my husband is that person. My husband is very he gets up every morning, he does his exercises, and he does, he's very routine. But I think for me, I'm just too much in my head. Even when I'm working out in a class, I'm giving myself like 10 other cues that the instructor is not giving me. And so to tell myself what exercise to do on top of that, based on all the many exercises that are possible, it's just too much decision making, and I just need someone to tell me what to do.
If only someone had written up a great program that was already structured.
What's that?
Alas, I said if only someone had written up a program that was structured.
Perfectly. Exactly. That's true. That's true. Elsa's joining us here on the show.
Sign up for 4 months of over the next month.
So. Okay, and put more comments. I'm gonna sign off, and then you can put once it posts, then you can add some links and things to the comments. All right,
cool.
Elsa's here. She's waving at everyone, and she's home. She's got the sniffles today. All right, bye, Nate. Wish you the best.
Bye, Erin. Thanks so much.
You.